meeting is being recorded.
You guys get that?
Yeah. Yep.
Covers my ass, right?
Yep.
Dose of Adolescence. How you guys doing?
Great, man. How are you?
Good. Brothers, right?
Yes, sir.
Jimmy and Timmy?
Yep.
I'm Timmy.
Jimmy.
Yep.
Very good. Well, thanks for joining me. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man. I love doing these, and I'm thankful to have a connection to your PR team, and they sent me your way, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love to chat with these guys because you guys have been around for a while, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've been around for my brother is better with time than I am, but
We technically started the band in like late 1999. I was like a 17-year-old kid.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Been around for a while. You did some music, had a lot of great experiences. There's a hiatus, but now you're back. New album coming out middle of November. I think it's November 15th.
Yes, sir.
Got some new singles, first new music in about 10 years or so. So talk to me about who Dose of Adolescence is, because I'm not familiar outside of what I've been listening to recently. But yeah, give me some of your history.
Yeah. So Dose of Adolescence is obviously us, Timmy and Jimmy Brown. We are originally from Southern California. We kind of grew up in the skate, punk rock, music scene, surf. Southern California is just really like a mecca of alternative sports and music, and it's kind of just like the lifestyle that we grew up in. And yeah, we just fell in love with making music and just continued doing it.
Mhm.
What age did you guys start at?
We started the band when I was about 17. Just kind of started writing some pop punk songs.
Yeah. So I would have been around 20, 21 in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So close in age. You guys were close growing up, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were really close. We were both raised by our dad, so it's kind of like just a tight-knit situation.
Gotcha. Yeah. And are you currently in California?
No, we live in the Nashville area now.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And just a little south of Nashville.
Gotcha. And what, just the music take you from California to Nashville, or how'd that work out?
Just kind of time to move and get out of California.
Was that recently, or?
A little over 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
2020.
That seems like the common theme, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people from California definitely moved here during that time.
Yeah.
We had just really had the chance to see a lot of different places. And I think the last time that we were in Nashville on Warped Tour, both of us were like, what about Tennessee?
Yeah.
And it just kind of ended up working out for us to be in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We had actually planned on moving we started making the plans to move here in 2019. And then the day that we picked, COVID and all that happened, and we just didn't let it stop us. We didn't leave while the whole flood was going on from everyone leaving California.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Joe Rogan took a lot of people with him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody. I think it's still happening too.
Yeah.
4 years later, it's still happening.
It's not a great situation.
No, it's not. It's very hard to live there now.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I've never been there.
It's a beautiful place. It's hard to make it there now.
Yeah, and I mean that's where people used to flock to. And now it's like
Yeah.
the exact opposite. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would still flock there for the weather and the beach and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Scranton, Pennsylvania, so it's
I've been there.
I love
Yeah.
Scranton.
Yeah.
for
We've done-
what?
We've done the Warped Tour there
I think
at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
We were there in 2008, 2010, and 2013, and 2018.
Oh wow! So I was probably floating around in your early years there.
Okay.
Wow.
You know?
I remember we used
That's
to always down at the base of the mountain. We would always eat at that Panera
Yeah.
and go up to the pavilion later on.
Yeah. It's a cool venue. I think it's struggling a bit. So there's actually a Post Malone's coming tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is probably the biggest name I feel like that they've had
Yeah.
in a lot of years. But I have tickets to go, and I'm like it's the thing about that place is there's one way up and there's one way down.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's like if you don't time it right, you're gonna be sitting in your car going up or sit in the parking lot waiting for people
True.
to kind of come out. But
Very true. I never thought about that. Crazy.
yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not shitting on it. I think we're fortunate. Like we have that. We have the Mohegan Arena, which is in Wilkes-Barre, that, you know, that has shows. So it's like, it's really cool that we have that. I mean, I'm 10 minutes away from Montage. But yeah, it's not ideal getting in and out.
Yeah. No, I could imagine, because I remember even on Warped Tour, and for us, it was there like during Warped Tour, if it's taking a long time to get up or down, it's like we're stuck there anyways for the entire day. But like if I was going as like a consumer and going to a show, I would be frustrated needing to come down that line.
Yeah. The one year, was it 08? Maybe not. It was 09. It was a major storm. It was hail involved and everything. It was, and I had just gone up. I was actually, the job I had at the time was like an Entertainment Weekly newspaper. So we were there for that, and I didn't bring anything with me. So like we were like huddling under other people's tents and shit like that. It was not great.
The weather could get crazy on Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere too.
And did your start kind of come at Warped Tour? Like I try not to do too much research because I try to do some fact finding organically, right? But I feel like you guys like did a lot of hustling early Warped Tour years, and kind of like grew from that. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Yeah, I would say that's really accurate. I mean, for us, like we had two goals when we started playing music, and one was to play the Glass House, which was like this local venue where we're from. It's like a 2,000 cap room, and our other goal was to play Warped Tour, just because we had grown up going to Warped Tour. Like that's Warped Tour is really what, for me personally, what really made me fall in love with music and different genres of music. And I love the way that Warped Tour was built to like expose people to new music. So that was like a huge goal for us, and us not knowing anything about like business or how to get on tour or how to get on shows or anything like that. We kind of just went for it. You know, we had heard about a band called Mayday Parade following Warped Tour, and they sold a bunch of records, and they ended up like getting a record deal and things like that. So we were like, hey, if it worked for them, let's try it. So we tried it, and we were very successful. You know, we sold a lot of records across the country, and it just kind of helped us evolve. It helped us create relationships like on the business side, and helped us really just learn about the business of music.
Yeah, I guess there's like nothing like, you know, just kind of immersing yourself into something you want to be a part of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's scary to do things like that, but it, like in life, everything that you do like that, I feel forces you to grow. So it may be uncomfortable for a minute, which I mean, it was, you know, you go out on the road, not knowing how you're going to pay for anything. And it's essentially like a cold call. What we were doing, you walk up to people and you're like, hey, who are you here to see? Do you want to listen to us? Do you want to buy our music? So it's a lot, man. Like you can get told no a lot before you actually begin to sell CDs.
Yeah.
And it's a scary thing, but like it made us grow so much.
I think it's really funny that you referenced a cold call, because like my job, I'm primarily in sales. I do some on-air shifts on the radio as well. But yeah, like you talk about getting outside your comfort zone, and it's like anything in life, right? Like whether it's, you know, figuring out how to cold call and, you know, pick up that phone or knocking on the door or even going to the gym. Like it's uncomfortable. It sucks. But like once you do it, once you're in it, once you're like, you know, you get some momentum going, it's like it becomes pretty easy.
Yeah. I was thinking about that this morning. I think everything in life is just compound interest. And it's just, you're either going to stick with something and you're going to see the compound interest of continuing to do something over and over and over until you actually get good at it, or you're not, you know?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that a lot. So you get on Warped Tour.
We did. That was like a really cool thing for us. We had, so we went out the first time and we just sold CDs. That's all we did. The second time we were like, okay, we sold CDs. Like, what do we do? So we were determined to try and figure out how to play. The second time we were able to play in front of the line out in front of Warped Tour, and we sold CDs every day. But that gave us the ability to go to these meetups that Kevin Lyman was having every day. So we were basically, and a lot of it was repetitive, but we would sit there and just kind of like soak up all the knowledge that Kevin Lyman was sharing every day at these meetups. Because what he would do is each city that Warped Tour would go to, they would invite all the local people, like young up and coming podcasters or magazine writers or photographers. He would invite all those people to these meetups every day, and everyone would have questions. So we would go and listen to the questions they had and kind of just soak up the knowledge. And then we basically, after, what year was that we did that?
That was 2010.
Okay. After we did that, we went back home, implemented everything that we learned, and then in 2013 we got a slot on Warped Tour.
Nice.
Yeah.
That year, 2013, right? We did like, I think it was 14 shows in 15 days. We played Scranton. We did like a lot of the eastern half of the Warped Tour that year.
Very cool. And so, I mean, did that help, propel you like in your record sales and all that kind of stuff? Like, how did that help you along the way?
I think for us, it really like started a kind of like a new journey for us, because we went out, we played that 2013 Warped Tour. We saw some reaction to what we were doing. We were strictly like a rock band then, but it wasn't like this big growth spurt. Like, oh, we got on Warped Tour, there was this huge growth spurt. And I think a lot of it had to do with the music that we were making at the time. It was great music. We were making great songs. But when you get out there in the big cesspool of Warped Tour, I don't want to say actually cesspool is probably not the bad word.
I know what you mean.
You're in the mix, right?
Right.
So we're out there in the mix and we don't really stand out. So we grew, it was good for us, but then we went back home and we ended up making like a collaboration song. A couple months had gone by. I had a meeting with Kevin Lyman and I was just like, hey man, we went out on Warped Tour. We used all the things that we learned from you and we kind of don't know what to do now, and
next move. Yeah.
We don't know what our next move is. And we show him everything we have been doing. And then we show him this collaboration song. I kind of had I felt like it was on the back burner, something we may put out. We had done it with some hip hop guys that we met and we showed it to him and he was just in love with the song. And he was like, I've heard so many records recently claiming to be something new and different. And he said, this is new and different. So I think it was just like these places that we would get to that would kind of just push us to the next place. And I think having that conversation with Kevin Lyman encouraged us to really go down a lane of trying to make different type of music and kind of put us where we are right now.
And is Kevin the founder of Warped Tour?
Yes.
For those people who don't know? Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, what a guy to have at your disposal, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely like amazing to be able to send an email and be like, hey, Kevin, can you help us out,
Yeah. What song was that specifically?
So that song is a song called Lower Middle Class. Sorry, I was like, I don't know which one was first. It was called Lower Middle Class, and it was the first time that we had ventured into trying to mix like rock and hip hop.
Yeah, that was the first song we wrote like this.
Yeah,
right. And that's what you guys are today as well, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, so it's like pop. There's punk. There's rock. There's hip hop.
Wow.
Like where did the idea to kind of combine all these genres come from?
Well, we were playing South by Southwest as well in the midst of all of that. The story that he was giving, and we met a couple of guys that worked with our producer, just like mutual friends. Got to talking with them. We're like, oh yeah, we should all like get together and write a song. And then it actually happened. And we had went into it just like, yeah, let's do something fun, like outside the box, show people that we aren't just like a punk rock band. And then it just steamrolled into
just fell together.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the first one, it was really like a collaboration idea, right? And then when we got the encouragement from Kevin Lyman, it was kind of like, okay, we have something here. Let's explore it. And from there, we were like, okay, let's not have any walls, no genre lines. Let's pull from every genre that we can to make just the best songs we can.
Yeah. And even this new stuff, like, I mean, I definitely hear some of that early 2000s influences, even in this new stuff. Talk to me about, we talked about the kind of start. This is the first bit of new music we've gotten in like a decade or so. Like, what happened?
Well, we started taking care of our dad. He was older, getting older in the years. We just wanted to do our best to like take care of him on his last stage of life. He was still with it. I mean, but we were just taking him to all of his doctor's appointments, and he lived with us. And we just wanted to really do a good job of taking care of him. So we just kind of laid music to the side. We did take him out. Actually, the last Warped Tour that we did in 2018, he came with us.
That's awesome.
Probably the oldest guy to ever go on the full Warped Tour ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we also did like a fall tour that year as well, and he went with us. And we were going to continue to try and do that with him, but we just realized probably wasn't the best idea to take our 81-year-old dad out on the road in a van. So
Yeah.
we just laid it down for him. He raised us both on his own, and we know it was hard on him. And I had made him a promise when I was like a teenager that if he ever needed help like that when he got older, that I would drop whatever I was doing and help him out.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously, you get older, your parents get older, and I lost my dad when I was 22, and it was like sudden. So I've never been in that like situation. That's got to be hard. Not only is it, you're putting your goals and your dreams kind of to the side, but obviously you're watching your father, decline, and that's got to be difficult.
Yeah, you know what though too? I think during that time though, like we were always closer to the point of where like most people that saw our like family dynamic, they almost thought it was weird because we just all like got along and we're always together. I feel like in those years we all got even closer than we had ever been before.
Yeah.
It was hard. I mean, to see our like hero basically finally like become human and get old, it was rough.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean,
Fine.
I'm sorry that, that happened, but like, yeah, a lot comes from that too. You became closer and obviously you guys are still close to this day. I mean, you're in a band together and you're brothers, and that's yeah. I mean, unfortunate, but I guess also part of life too.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but so I mean that break took, what, 5, 6, 7 years?
Yeah, we I think we took care of him for a total of like 6 or 7 years full time. And then just it took us a minute to actually get back to where we could even perform, because when we were taking care of him, I think we both had kind of come to the place where we were okay, the music was done, or at least that's what we thought. And it took us almost a year to be back to where we could like really play again. Yeah.
I can't imagine. I don't know. Like, I think when you're an artist too, it's like it never leaves, right?
And I mean that's what it was. Like after our dad passed away, we kept coming back to each other. Like there would be a time where I was really feeling like that's what we were supposed to be doing, and I would go to him, or vice versa, and he would come to me and be like, "Hey, I really think this is what we're supposed to be doing." And we're both like, are you serious? Like at this stage of life, we're really going to try and do this again. But we really feel like it's who we are.
Yeah.
We were created to play, make music, and just like share love with people. So that's how we ended up where we're at. I mean, we kept trying to like work at it. And ultimately like asked Brian Welch, who is the co-founder of our label, we basically just told him like kind of where we were at. And it initially started as like a advice thing, like kind of how I would do with Kevin Lyman. Like, hey, I know you're a veteran in this. I don't know what to do. What would you do? Right. And it quickly turned into, well, hey, let's go meet with my manager. Hey, we're actually starting a label. Would you want to put out a record on a label? I'm like, are you kidding? Of course. So that's kind of how all this started. When we started to work back into playing music again, Brian was huge in the process.
Yeah, and let's not gloss over who Brian is and who he's part of. I mean, it's just a little known band, Korn.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's crazy. And Brian and I had been friends, and it's still mind blowing on a daily basis. Like, okay, hold on. This is who we're able to like call and be like, hey, what do we do?
Yeah.
So
That's wild.
yeah.
So
No, it's
Brian has his own label, Crossover Records. And it's
Yeah.
it's XOVR, I believe.
yes.
So yeah, I mean, so have you guys been friends for a long time, or how did that even happen?
So him and I initially met like 10 years ago. Didn't like, and that's all it was. I met him, some friends, we all hung out and went to eat after an event. And then I reconnected with him when I moved to Tennessee. And that's when we really started hanging out.
It's amazing how those things happen.
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible.
I try and I don't try and preach. I kind of say this often. It's like it only takes one. Like it only takes one person to like hear your music. It only takes one person to say yes to a big sales deal, or it takes one person to whatever it might be. Like it's just kind of crazy how that kind of
that kind of goes right back to like the cold calling thing. You know, it only takes one person to say yes. Sometimes you can get a million no's, but those yeses, they'll come. Yep.
Yeah. So you're with this new label, and the two songs you have, "Lean Back" and "Get Back Up," right?
Back up. Yep. Yeah.
And the new album is coming out, like I said, mid November. What's that process been like? You know, being out of the game for so long.
Oh, a lot of work. Yeah, a lot of work. It's sure in the short time that we didn't like make music, the game changed so much. Yeah. So it's been a lot of work, but like a learning process.
Sure.
But I think we're like this month when we release Lean Back, I feel like we started to finally get our stride and kind of get a rhythm. So now I'm really excited for the single that we're releasing next month, and then to release the record. It's been a lot of work, but a lot of growth. Yeah. A lot of growth.
One note I wrote down, and you kind of talked about just now, it's like how different things are and how things change so quickly. You know, you're talking about when you first started, you know, the DIY, you're hustling, you're out there following the tour, and you're slinging records that way. I mean, nowadays it's completely different. Like it's like, do bands even make CDs anymore? Like, I know obviously vinyl's a thing now, like, right? But like, I mean, the landscape is so different.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Like to you know, you said you had a learning experience too, but like it's kind of crazy how it's like you like kind of went to sleep for 6 years and you woke up and you're in a coma, right? And it's like, okay, the world's different.
Yeah.
I think it was even crazy just to see how much social media had changed, because we had obviously used social media before for the music, but just to see even the way that like fans interact on social media now has changed.
Yeah.
Like several years ago, we would post a cool picture of us playing live and it'd get a couple hundred likes or something easily. Now, if you got to keep doing these reels of like the same song almost over and over, and sometimes you might get even like 4,000, 5,000 views on it, but the likes like aren't there like they used to be. It's just different. And it was crazy for me to see that.
And now you got to do TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, we downloaded one of those 9 months ago. I'd never personally been on a TikTok before in my life.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know. I haven't figured out how to use it to my advantage yet, because I use it for humor, because I think people are funny as shit on the internet. But I don't know. It's like it's beyond me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm too old.
I think all of them can either be a tool or a vice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it just really comes down to like having boundaries. And I'm speaking to myself right now, because doing all of this, you definitely get caught up, and I'm like, I catch myself checking my phone all the time. But it can be a tool or a vice, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's been a process, I think, of going back almost to when we first started, when you have to kind of be fearless in what you'll try. Because, not everything works. It's trial and error.
Right.
So some of this stuff is just being willing to try again in ways that I was like, what are we doing? We're filming videos out in front of the cars driving by right now.
Yeah.
So
And then
go ahead.
When you figure it out, it changes again.
100%.
It's not 100%. Fair.
Yeah. So, but I think it's cool. Because I think like with anything, it's compound interest. We're starting to see the compound interest right now because, we started posting, trying to because like you said, you can't go sell someone a CD anymore. The game is entirely different. So a lot of what people are doing these days is through social outlets. So you start posting and you learn about it. We went from posting pictures again to where I started learning how to make reels. I get in a rhythm of making reels, and then I hire someone to make reels. So each time our content quality and level is just going up. But now that we're doing the higher quality stuff, we're even seeing the compound interest trickle back to the original stuff that we were making ourselves.
Right. It's also fun to see kind of where you started and where you're at.
Yeah, 100%. You see the work, The process is what it's all about.
And you said you have one more single to release. When can we expect that?
We're releasing that one. I want to say 3 weeks almost right now. It's in the middle of October.
Middle of October.
Yeah, I forget the exact date.
That's okay.
I think it might be October 16th, October 15th.
Okay. So almost a month out from the
that song's called Mojo Rise.
Like that. So any big plans for this new release?
I think we're going to continue just doing the same things that we've been doing at this point right now. Also just making sure to hold ourselves to a standard and push ourselves creatively in the process of how we're giving the world music, with social platforms and things like that, and just try and build until we start next year. And then in next year, we plan to go to radio with our first single, Get Back Up. We'll kind of just see what happens.
Any tour days lined up, or are we?
Not at the moment. We're holding off on that stuff until the start of next year as we release and kind of build.
Okay.
We're in kind of a rebranding, rebuilding season.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck with it. I mean, it is a different world. I don't know how, I don't know how bands do it these days. I grew up with cassettes, CDs, the kind of you almost had a recipe on how to do things, and now it's just you get lost in the kitchen with everything.
Yeah. I think you just gotta love it. You gotta be not afraid to fail or look silly again, and just try.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I always talk about how music and art in general is such a cool thing because it lives on, it'll live on forever, right? Even when we're all gone, what kind of legacy do you guys hope that you leave behind?
For me, with our music, the legacy that I would like to leave behind is just being real, being ourselves, and just trying to spread some hope and love through our music.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is just really leave people with a sense of hope.
That was why we named the band Dose of Adolescence too, is when you're a kid and you're just full of hope, you're who you are, haven't been tainted by the world yet. And that's why we named the band that when we were starting out.
I miss those days.
Yeah. Yep.
I miss those days a lot. Is that what you guys write a lot about? Is giving
personal
people hope?
Personal experience and kind of the way that we've seen hard times be turned into hope,
Yeah.
We just always written from the heart, and like you said, personal experience. Wanted to write about real stuff, not just pick a topic and
right.
Yeah.
And what's that like? I'm sure you are able to connect with your audience because of that, right? It's real, it's honest, mm-hmm. It's genuine. And they always say that, music saves lives and things like that. What's it like for you guys to, I'm sure your music has had an impact on people, or that maybe it picked them up from a dark place. What's that like for you guys to be able to have that kind of impact on people?
I love it, and I love too that like it could be a song that was completely in left field to what is hitting them and they're relating to it with. But I've always enjoyed like, wow, I'm glad that like that song was able to help you through like that time. Like one instance that I always remember on our first record we ever wrote, we had a song called Zaragoza, and I literally wrote the lyrics on that song about like missing. I was kind of getting into adulthood and like working like full-time jobs, and the song was about missing hanging out with my friends. But this kid that reached out to us said it helped him through a really bad breakup. And that was the first time for me where I was like, wow, it doesn't really matter what I'm writing about. It matters how they relate to it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's cool about music is even at different points in your life, like you can hear the same song in different points of your life and kind of like think differently about it.
Yep. Even some records to this day, if I listen to an old record that I loved in high school, it'll take me back to like that moment. Like,
yeah,
like Enema of the State always reminds me of driving to the beach in my friend's car that I was best friends with in high school. And it always will. I don't know why.
That's what I love about music in general. Just like, in my years, when you turn 18 and you turn 21 and you have this, you're in college and certain groups of friends, and like, I associate so many albums with like those moments in my life. I can almost tell you if I own the album, I can almost tell you the week of the year that it came out and it's in the month, right? Like almost to the day sometimes. Like it's really bizarre.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
We're coming up on, I think, so in 2003, I think the Limp Bizkit, Nickelback, and John Mayer album came out around this time.
Wow.
Back in 03.
Wow.
I should look it up, but I won't. But yeah, it's just like I've kind of lost that to a degree because my life is more routine now. You wake up, you go to work. I mean, I have 2 kids, which keep me on my toes, right? We almost thought that my daughter broke her ankle at a party on Sunday. I think it's just a strain, but like what I'm getting at is like these certain moments and these like meeting new people, and it's not as common now. I guess it's more of a routine, but music is such a powerful thing, and I'll leave you with this. Like you mentioned before about what'd you say? Shit, I had it on the tip of my tongue. Damn it. Damn it. Well, I won't leave you with anything, I guess. Shit. I had it. What were we talking about? Just being powerful and
compound interest.
Yeah, compound. I love that too. Damn it. Did I write it down? I don't know. I lost it.
It happens, man.
Ah, damn it. It was a good one too. I promise.
You'll probably remember right when we're done.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. That's how it'll work. But I don't know, man. But album name, is it Zircon or Zircon Ave?
Zircon Ave. Yeah.
Is that like
that's the street we grew up on.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. And then that album cover there is a picture of our dad and him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, best of luck with everything, and yeah, you know what it was certain people like are I think put here on earth for certain things.
Yeah.
Like musicians, like I don't know what I'm here for, right? But like I see like my sister-in-law, she works with mentally disabled children. Like I'm like, and that takes a lot of like patience, and like there's like I feel like people are put on this earth like to do those kinds of things because like I don't think I could do it. And and we need those people. Like it's just like, so I think people are really put on this earth to do certain things, and artists, musicians, and who can have an impact on people. So
yeah, I agree.
That's
for
what
sure.
it was.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Wasn't that good? Wasn't that good?
I totally agree.
So, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find us on any social platform, any streaming platform under Dose of Adolescence, and it's DOSE space OF space ADOLESCENCE.
Mm-hmm. You can stream all of our music on all the major streaming platforms as well: Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Amazon. pretty much everyone that I think is out there. You can find it. We're on YouTube Music. We have all our music videos up on YouTube.
And you guys did a cover, right?
Yeah. Call Me Maybe.
Call Me Maybe.
Yeah.
The hit of the year. That was it 2012, maybe?
That was actually around the time we did it.
2011 or so? Yeah. Yeah. What a great song.
2013. Yeah.
Now, did that song, was there a reason why you did that song specifically, or is that just?
I think my brother just really liked the song, the original. He just could tell how like catchy it was and just a well-written pop song.
Yeah, so I heard the song before it broke in the United States because she's a Canadian artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I was driving back from Vegas and I heard the song and it hadn't like popped yet in the US. And I was like, this song is just so good and I love pop music. And then I randomly saw a video on YouTube of this baseball team from Florida doing this dance to it. And the video had gone viral. And I was like, we need to cover the song and then kind of do a parody of the baseball team's video that they did on YouTube.
Okay.
So that's where the idea came from.
That's
and that
cool.
video is up on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I'll check that out. You'll be covering Sabrina Carpenter next.
I don't know.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Man.
I think I've heard the name, but
Oh my God. She just released a new album, but she's got like 3 songs that are just like bangers. And they're
is she blonde hair girl?
She is, yeah.
Okay, I think someone was literally telling me about this girl last night. Maybe I need to check it out.
Not against covers anymore. They're just they're fun, but they're
fun, yeah, just randomly.
You cover it though, and then people want you to play that song for like several years.
True.
Yeah.
True. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Best of luck with the new record, and I'll be sure to follow the journey.
Awesome. Thanks, John. You have a good day, man.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
Later.